Hello and welcome to BQE Fitness for this special yoga for back pain. So if you got a yoga mat, let's grab it and come on down. Come onto your hands and knees to our tabletop position. We're going to begin with a bird dog pose. So let's extend our left arm out in front of us and extend our right leg out behind us and hold it here and breathe. That hand can face the floor or you can have the thumb facing the ceiling, whatever's comfortable. Keep the ears lined up with the shoulders, and let's lower down and take it to the other side. Right arm and left leg stretch away from each other, keeping the core strong. Try not to open through that left hip too much. Keep the hips square. And we're going to gently lower back down. From here, from our tabletop position, we are going to take it to cow and cat pose. So arch your back, look up, breathe in, and then as you breathe out, round your back, drop your head and your tailbone. So breathe in, lift the head and tailbone, look up, and breathe out, round your spine, lift the belly button toward the spine, look down. And we'll do just a couple more of these here, really trying to open up the back, get into all the space there, and we will finish in a nice tabletop position. Excellent. And let's come all the way onto the belly, untuck those feet, bring the arms out in front of you, hands and elbows on the floor, and we are going to just imagine we have a light shining from our heart, and we don't want the light to shine down at the floor, we want it to shine forward. So press that heart forward and breathe here. And let's try to take it up, lift those elbows off the mat, come up a little higher, breathe in and out, and gently lower yourself down. And we're going to take it to a child's pose here. So extend those arms out, sit the hips back toward the feet, and breathe into your back here. So I'm going to turn around so you can see. You can widen those knees too if that's comfortable for you here. And from here we're going to walk those hands to the right edge of the mat. Breathe in and out, let the head drop here. And then we're going to walk those hands back to the center. And we'll take it to the other side. So stretch those arms to the left edge of the mat. Let your head drop, keep those hips back, breathe here. You should feel a stretch through the left side of the body and in the back, hopefully. We'll come back to center and gently roll through the spine to come up. Good, you are doing great. So from here, we are going to come to a seated position with our feet on the floor, knees up, and bring our hands behind us to begin with. Try not to collapse into your lower back. Keep it nice and long here. Lean slightly back, and we're going to float those knees up to a tabletop position. From here, see if you can lift those arms off the floor and extend them in front. Now, if you want to challenge, you can extend those legs, or you can extend those arms overhead. Or if you really want to challenge, you can extend both arms and both legs and try to hold it here. I'm just going to take the original position. Remember not to collapse in the low back, and we will gently come down and gently just lift up out of that low back. Take a little stretch there and relax. Good. So extend the legs out in front. We're going to cross the right leg over, foot on the floor. Right hand comes to the floor. Left arm comes up. We breathe in, and on the breath out, we're going to twist and lower the arm. Push it against the outside of the elbow, and you can either keep that hand down, or if you want to challenge, see if you can loop that hand right through the leg and maybe grab onto it with the other. But that's just an option. And let's come gently back to the center, and we'll take it to the other side. So cross the other foot over, left hand comes to the floor, right arm extends up, breathe in, and as you breathe out, lower the arm, press the elbow against the knee, and turn to gaze behind you. Good, sit up nice and tall, don't collapse in the back even as you twist. And remember to breathe, yoga is all about breathing. And gently come back to center, and let's just take a brief little stretch forward here. So remember, we stretch not from the middle of the back, but right from the creases of the hips. And it doesn't matter how far down you come. I'm just showing you a few different ranges of motion here, but your pose does not have to look exactly like mine. Good. All right, so from here, we are going to come through a tabletop position, but extend the right leg in front of us for a lunge. And you can have the hands on the floor, hands on the knees, or for a challenge, you can lift those arms straight overhead. Remember, if you do this, to relax the shoulders and keep those ears nice and lifted away from the shoulders. Nice long neck here. Sink the hips toward the floor. And we're going to bring those hands down. Take a brief little hamstring stretch here. Come back through tabletop and we'll take it to the other side. Left leg comes forward. Sit into those hips. Try not to let that left knee come past the toes. Hands to the floor, hands to the knees, or arms up overhead, shoulders nice and relaxed. And we just breathe here, stretching out those hip flexors after the ab work. Take a brief little hamstring stretch here and come back through tabletop. Excellent. So we're going to come all the way onto the back to do a couple poses to finish. So lie down, feet on the floor, knees bent, and take your right foot and put it on top of the left knee. I'm going to show you from this angle. It's a figure 4 stretch. Now you can either stay there or hug your knees in towards your chest for a deeper stretch. Whichever option you take, let that low back feel like it's melting into the floor. Let it be nice and wide and relaxed. And just pull that knee in as close as is comfortable for you. Breathe nice and deep. This is a very, very good pose for both relieving and preventing back pain. So drop the foot to the floor. We're going to cross that right knee all the way over and take the arms a little bit out. And now from here, drop those knees toward the left side of the mat. It doesn't matter how far down they come. What I want you to think about is not lifting the opposite shoulder. So keep that right shoulder on the floor and just breathe here. You should feel hopefully a stretch in the back, in the chest, in the legs. And let's come over, uncross the legs, and we'll take it to the other side. Left foot comes right on top of that right knee. And if you want, you can hug those legs into the body. Let that lower back feel nice and wide and relaxed. Let your head just be resting on the floor. And if you're holding any tension in the face, just let it go. Sometimes we accidentally do that. And we're going to drop those feet to the floor and cross the leg all the way over. Bring the arms out a little bit, and this time we're going to drop the knees toward the right. So remember, you don't have to come down as far as I do, but if you want, you can take that hand and guide the knees closer to the mat. Remember to keep both shoulders in contact with the earth here. These poses are very good for sciatica because they stretch out the muscles that surround the sciatic nerve. And when they become tight, it can pinch that nerve and cause pain. So come back to center, uncross the legs, and from here we're just going to hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. Maybe rock from side to side, gently massaging that lower back if that feels comfortable for you. And we're going to cross those feet and rock all the way to a seated position. And we're going to finish with a nice stretch for our obliques and low back here. So take a nice seated position and one arm comes overhead and we hold it here. So you don't have to come all the way down onto the elbow like I am. But on your next exhale, we're going to take both arms and sweep them across the legs, hold it at the side, and then sweep them back to the first side. Lift up to center and we'll take it to the other side. So opposite arm comes overhead. And we are just leaning into it, keeping that chest nice and open. And then we sweep those arms, hold at the side, sweep those arms back to the first side, and lift all the way up. Did you get it? I know that was a hard sequence. And we just come back to center. Take a moment to center yourselves. Thank you so much for joining me.